right? So this is the execute SQL task. Okay, and I'm going to write down on query, that is select employee name from EMP table. Okay, if you're executing this query, okay, and it will give this result. Okay, so this result I'm going to put into one variable. So that variable is a, I'm going to create a new variable here. So the variable name is table where, and the data type, so whenever you are going to store any table value data, that means more than single value, that data type is object data type you have to select. If you want to keep more than single value, you have to select object data type. Okay, right, click OK. Right, have written one SQL statement. Okay, and the full result set you have to take this one. The result set is full result set because you are getting more than single row. If you are getting only single value, you can select single value. If you are getting more than a single value, then you have to maintain full result set. So whatever the result set is coming from this query, I have saved into this variable. So this variable data type is object data type. Okay, click OK. Right, so the values, all whatever the values coming from that query, we have saved into this variable table variable. If I want to display these values, okay, if I want to display these values, how we can display? Right, how we can display? So by using this script task, we can display. Right, I'm going to take one script task. Where is that script task? Right, so what exactly this script task is doing? If you want to write down, if you want to create any functionalities, so whatever the functionalities are not existing and whatever the task you don't have in your SSIS, if you want to write down a .NET code, that means VB code or C# code. If you are familiar with VB, then you can write down the VB script, and if you are familiar with the C#, you can write down the C# code. Okay, by write down the some .NET codes, and you can customize the some functionality. Okay, for example, so whatever the variable value, the value is coming from here, right? So that value if you want to display by using this script task. Okay, right. So this variable having these many rows, right? If I want to show each value, that means each row, it has to, this script task has to execute that many times. If you want to display that value, we have to execute this script task that many times. How many times? How many rows are there? That many times, right? So for that we want to loop this script task. We want to loop the script task. So for that looping, what we are going to use? For each loop container. Okay, I'm going to put this script task inside for each loop container. Okay, right. So I'm going to link up this. Okay, because first I have to execute this SQL statement. After that, that result is going to particular variable, table variable. Okay, so I'm going to configure this for each loop container. What exactly this for each loop container is doing? For example, if you have this result, how many rows? 14 rows. So this for each loop container will execute 14 times. So whatever the task you have put inside this script task, right? So it will execute 14 times. So that you have to configure. You just double click on the for each loop container. Okay, and if you want to change the name, you can change the name. Go to collections. See, in these collections you have different enumerators. Okay, so based on the enumerator, so based on your requirement, you are going to use different enumerators. So each enumerator having different functionality. For example, if you are coming to the for each ADO enumerator, so what this enumerator is doing, if you are selecting this enumerator, you have one variable, right? In that variable you have 14 rows of the data. So for each row, for each row, this enumerator will loop. Okay, for each row, this enumerator, for each ADO enumerator will loop until all the rows is over. It is trying to execute whatever the task you have put inside this for each loop container. So that variable name you have to give here, right? So what is your variable name? Table variable. Okay, table variable. So you have to select rows in the first table. This is considered like as a, this variable considered like as a table. It's a table variable. In that variable you have some table information, the data, some data is there. So for each row you are going to loop this for each loop container until all the rows is over, right? So each time it is looping this for each loop container, it will get, so each time whenever it is looping it will get row by row, row by row, row data, right? So first it will take King, next Blake, Clark, Jones. So what I am going to do here, I want to save this value, whatever the value is coming for each iteration, into this variable. Okay, I'm going to create one variable. Okay, that variable name is, to use, result. Okay, and this is a string. Click OK. What I did here, so in this table variable you have 14 rows. Okay, so for each iteration, for each looping, it will take row by row, row by row, row by row. Okay, right? So that's why I'm storing each row by row, row by row, row by row. Okay, right, click OK. So now what I'm going to do here, so whatever the result you have putting in this variable, right, you have put each time that variable, that value, each row value you are putting into this result variable. So that result variable value I am going to display by using scriptas. Okay, how to configure a scriptas? If you are double clicking on that scriptas, so which code you are going to write? If you want to write down the Visual Studio, Visual Basic, you have to select Microsoft Visual Basic 2008. If you want to write down the Microsoft C Sharp, then you can write down. And so what is the read only variables and read write variables? So there are two kind of variables. One is, so you can access that variable and you can take the data from that variable, so that is you are just reading the variable. But if you want to use a variable like read and write, write means if you want to assign any value for that particular variable. Okay, so that variable is write variable. Okay, so now I have only read variable. So which variable? That is result variable. In that result variable, each time this value is stores. First King, Blake, Clark, Jones, Scott. Got it? Right. So go to edit script. So in that script you have to write down the C# code. Right? So this is everything common. Okay, and where you are going to write down your exact script, so that script you have to write down here, add your code here, right? So just delete this one, and I have already code. Okay, this is the code. So for this will display the message. Guys, give a second. Okay, right? So I have declared one variable, that is a string message. So in that variable, so this result, this result variable is storing each time, each iteration, value by value by value, this row value, right? So that I'm going to show as a message box. Okay, simple C# code I have written. That variable value I'm going to display. Okay, just save it, close it. Okay, click OK. Right. So I want to,
What is that code? Can you explain that code?
yeah, I will send that code. Okay, I will send that code. You want to see now?
Can you explain how?
Yes,
Yeah.
simple. That is very basic code. right? See, just I have declared one variable here. Okay, in C# or VB script you are declaring a variable like this is a string data type. Okay, this is a string data type. The variable name is string message. Okay, and this user result, this is a variable, our user variable, right? So that variable you can get from here, right? So this is the result variable. So this variable is coming from, this variable is coming from here. Got it? So it stores the each value. So I'm assigning this value in this variable value into this string message variable. Okay, and finally I'm going to show that in by using message box dot show. Okay, then it will display whatever the value is assigned into this variable. Got it? Then finally it will show success. DTS task result is success message. Okay, so here what you have to write down, the variable name you have to write down. Okay, and you are assigning this variable value into this variable. Okay, this is a string data type, this is the variable name, and you are just write down message box show what is the variable, this variable, because you are assigning this value into this variable. Got it? Right. Click OK. If I want to execute this entire query, sorry, entire tasks, you have to execute all these tasks. How you can execute? You can even if you want to execute, you can execute this one time and this one time, or if you are executing the entire package, it will execute this one also. Then how you can execute only this part? So for that I'm going to take sequence container. Okay, in if you are putting all this task into sequence container, just at it, in sequence container I have put everything, right? So what exactly this sequence container? It will grouping the info, it will group all the tasks, right? So now if you want to execute, then you can execute the container. If you are executing this container, it will execute this one and this one and this one. So initially you can't execute all at a time, right? So that's why I'm putting all these tasks into one sequence container. So this sequence container is not doing more than that, it is just grouping the tasks. If you want to disable only this one, you have to write down right click and disable, and if you want to disable this one, you have to right click. But if you want to disable the entire section, you just right click on disable. So if you want to apply any properties or disable enable properties, or if you want to execute only this container, you just put inside a sequence container. Got it? Right, now I'm going to execute. Right, yes, the king is coming, right? Blake, Clark, Jones, Scott, Ford, Smith, Allen. So these are all names, right? It is successfully executed. So this way you can put a result set in a variable. That variable name is table variable, and the thing you have to remember here is full result set you have to put. Okay, and actually we don't require these two variables, right? So you can remove these two variables because you didn't put any input parameters, right? Click OK, and so whatever the result is coming from that execute SQL task, you have put into table variable, right? So that table variable you have assigned here. So that data type is for each ADO enumerator. Okay, for each ADO enumerator type. And if you're coming to the variable mappings, so whatever the value is coming for each iteration, you are assigning to this result variable. Got it? Right. So after that you have taken one script task. In the script task you have taken this as a read only variable, and you have added some script here. Click OK. So it is showing, it is displaying for each row. Each time it is iterating for each row, and it is executing the script task. Got it? So this way you can use a for each loop container, and you can display by using script task. Right. So I have one more requirement. I have one Excel sheet. Sorry, I have two Excel sheets. Employee 1, employee 2. So in the employee 1.xls, I have a data like employee number, employee name, salary. Okay, this is the data. And in the second file also, this is employee 2 file. So the data is this one. Got it? So in this way, if I have 100 employee files, the file names are different file names. Okay, so in that situation, how you are going to load this two employee files information into SQL Server table? Got it? How we can load this SQL Server table files? Right. So now I am going to take one for each loop container. So this for each loop container will loop for each file based on your enumerator. What kind of enumerator you are going to take? So that is for each file enumerator. For each file enumerator means it will loop for all the files, whatever the files you are mentioned, okay, in that particular folder. It will loop for each file, and it will execute whatever the task you have put inside. Okay, right. So what is the folder path? Control C. So this here you have to give the folder path, in which folder your files are saved, right? So the file you have to mention here. If you are giving the full file path, that means emp1.xls, it will take only that file. If you are giving a .xlsx, that means it is trying to loop for whatever the files having the extension .xlsx. If you are making it as a txt, it is trying to load the data from text files. If you are making xls, it is trying to find out xls files. So now I am going to take it xlsx. Okay,